Hey, it's Chris from Little Tech Girls Digital Homestead. I am in the basement garden. I gave you a teaser and I promised you more content from down here, so I'm finally ready to do that. What we are doing today is moving and splitting up some seedlings from my gardens. There's a lot of stuff growing down here now. Still not everything, surprisingly. The first plants down here were started on November 9th for my group challenge. They were actually started upstairs and I moved them down. I started up the gardens. Let me see when I started this first one. If you have a garden, you can have the app and you can set a SOW date, SOW date in the app. Okay. So first we're going to look at my oldest garden, which is actually my newest garden. It's the oldest model garden that was given to me when I got this tower garden because the gentleman selling it didn't want it anymore. So let's see. I started this, December 2nd. Okay, so it hasn't been as long as I thought. But as mentioned previously, when you get a garden and you use their pods, the pods always have multiple seeds in them. Sometimes it's just a few. I've seen as many as 20 lettuce seeds in some. So what I have started doing, which I have a previous video that I'll link here, is removing some of the seeds before I even plant the pods, or I'll remove some of them and leave some in case I know I want to split plants out. So in this case, there were some that I did not take the seeds out of, and we're going to start with some cherry tomatoes. Let me show you. So these are 4 of my 5 gardens. The studio is upstairs in the family room. And this is the one I mentioned over here. I believe this is a Garden 1.0. I actually changed around the insides, which I can show you in a different video, and pretty much brought it up to 2.0 standards. It's been great. I had to make a couple of hose repairs. I will replace the hoses at another time, but it's working. Okay. You'll see a lot of empty spots in here because I purposely left room to spread plants out, and because there's fruiting plants in here. Now, when I started this up, I also had these in here: lemon hot pepper, mini eggplant, and poblano pepper. Those did not sprout. So I took them out and put them in the nursery before I added nutrients to this a few days ago. Up here we have some sunflowers. We've got white petunias. This is mini okra that I'm excited about. This is a cucumber. These are the red cherry tomatoes that I mentioned. And down here we have some peas. Okay, so we're going to start with these. I'm just going to take this carefully out of here. There's water in here. I should have had somewhere to pour the water. Actually, I know exactly what to do with this water. My rock wool is going to have to get wet anyway, so I'll just pour that right in there. We're going to lay this here. And let me position the camera so you'll be able to see what I do. So I've done a short on this before, but not a full video. However, I do have a full video on how I do this in my AeroGardens that I will also link to. So this is a garden wide pod. You've got your outside sleeve and you've got your inside net cup. And in here, you will see several little cherry tomato plants because I did not remove any of the seeds because I have space for them. So what I'm going to do is carefully work out this rock wool. You see some cute little roots there. And this is a good size for splitting out. I usually like to wait until they're about this size with a couple of true leaves before I do this. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I count 7 cherry tomato plants. Now, if you look in the garden app or the instructions, they tell you to thin. And what that means is they want you to snip off all but one of these. But I don't like to waste plants. I have plenty of hydro spaces, so I like to save them. And this is also why you can just save those seeds before you even put this in your system, so you can plant them at another time. Just open the rock wool up, take the little seeds out, and put them in a plastic bag or something and label it. They don't tell you the exact variety of these. It's just called the Garden Red Cherry Tomato, but it's probably a common microdwarf that we know. Okay, and look how cute they are. They are nice and green. They look healthy. So what I'm going to do is, I've already gathered my supplies. I have some garden net cups, aka Y cups here, Y pods rather. These are being reused. These are the older ones, I think. they are nice and strong, so they can be reused. The newer ones, not so much. These are a couple that I 3D printed when I was testing. They work great, but what I didn't like about these is this wide open bottom. So if your rock wool is kind of small, it can fall through, okay? Um, and I have some rock wool that I need to use and get rid of. And I also have 2 cups for my tower garden because I have 2 empty spaces in here that I've been saving for a couple of these tomatoes. And then we have some larger rock wool here. So rock wool is extremely easy to pull apart. If you are sensitive to it, put on some plastic gloves first before you do this. But you just want to work this apart like so. Let me turn it this way so you can see. Easier this way. And you're going to see more than one plant. Just be very careful. As long as each little stem has a root or multiple roots, they will survive, okay? There's 1, 2, 3. And one of these is going to go right back in the pot where it came from. So I will leave one with the bulk of the rock wool. That's this one. And if your rock wool is torn up like this, that is one nice thing about rock wool. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't use it a lot. However, it's easy to pull apart and work with. So you can just kind of stuff some extra in there to put that back into your net cup. Make sure it's stable, like so. And you put it back in here. And back in the system that will go. Now, some of these are going to go back in the same system. So what I'm going to do is take one of these, take one that has nice roots on it, get some more rock wool. These are not exactly wet. This is a really old bag of rock wool that I am so happy to finally be able to get rid of. They were small, they were shaped weird. They came in this like bag where they just kind of fell all over the place. So I'm trying to use them up so they don't go to waste. So just take a couple of these, nest it around there. What I prefer to use is Root Riot, Rapid Rooter, or similar plugs, which I can show you what those look like, and I can put a link below. They are a lot more stable. They stay together, and germination is great. But here's another one ready to go. So let's take a pause and let's put these back in the system. So now let's prepare the 2 that are going right here into this tower garden, okay? So here's my rock wool. I'm going to try to do this without tearing it up. Get some scissors and just cut a slot here, a slit. Take one of these babies, put it in the middle there, put it right into the net cup. The same thing with another one. If you don't have other systems, but you are a soil pot person, you could also put these in a little pot of soil. Microdwarf tomatoes don't need a lot of space at all. That's why it's important that when you are planning to grow something for your hydroponics, you get the right size. We always do microdwarfs. Okay, so these 2 are going here in the tower, and I still have 3 left, which I think means I'll put 1 more into the garden we were just working on. And then these 2, I want to try in, I think, an AeroGarden because I have space there. Let's see which one I want to put in here. Let's go for this one. Need a little more rock wool cushion around that. And stuff it in. Let me put this in the garden. Be right back. All right, now let me show you how these go into the tower garden system. So right down here, I have one of my 3D printed covers on here. I downloaded this. This is someone else's design. And I had seen someone say that the way it's made, the water kind of comes out here and rolls down, and I did experience that. So I may look for a different design for that. However, just take that off. Take your net cup, and this has those weird 2-inch net cups where they have kind of made it so one side locks in, which is nice. It's kind of a pain when it's time to take them out, but it's just that simple. This pink residue that you see here is from the Maxi Bloom that I'm using as nutrients. I am going to look for a way to seal this the next time I have to take it apart so that that does not happen. Some silicone or something. Anyway, it's just that simple. Put it right in there. And I need to do one on the other side. All right, same thing on this side. Just take that cover off. Pop this in. Okay. And now we need to do the two that are going into the AeroGarden. So now I need slightly different supplies. We have my AeroGarden cages here, which are 1-inch cages, and sponges. These sponges are from Park Seed. That's some of my favorites. I'll put a link below. They are made for their biodome seed starting systems, but they fit perfectly in here, as you will see in a moment. So same deal. Cut a slit down the side. Take your little stem, put it in there nice and deep with the root intact in the middle, and then just slide it into the cage. This still has a bunch of rock wool on it. I'm going to try to take that off carefully. There we go. Take this one. And these sponges are slightly damp. Put that in there. And slide it in. Now, I did not prep the AeroGarden that these are going into just yet. So for now, I'm just going to pop them into this one. Hopefully you can see me. That has a different tomato plant in it, but this is just so they can get some water and nutrients soon. I'll have to fill that up, but that's ready. So now let me do the same thing with the sunflower and okra. All right, so now we're back to the garden pods. Same thing, we're going to slide that rock wool out of there without tearing it up if we can. These are the little baby sunflowers. Pull that apart in half, hopefully with each one keeping some roots. I'm going to take a little bit put it on this side here. Slide that right back into the cup, pod rather. And there you have it. I'll do the same thing with this one. So this is something that you can do to extend your harvest, extend the number of plants that you have, as long as you have the space to do so. I don't like for plants and seeds to go to waste, so it makes me happy to be able to keep these going, give them new life, however you want to put it. This is the okra. One of each of these is going right back into that same system. Actually, they're all going in that system. You just want to have one per pod so they have the best chance of growing because they have room to spread out. All right, let's pop them back in. So here's one sunflower, one mini okra. And for now, I'm going to put these here. Sometimes I move plants around after I notice the growth or decide I want to do something different with the system or spread them out. But this will be fine for now. Now, since we're here, we can take a quick look at what I'm growing in the other gardens. So, as mentioned, this one is fruiting plants or flowering plants. Next to that, we have herbs and greens. I'm going to have to split some of these out. They need a little bit more time. Speaking of time, this is time. We've got Swiss chard. We've got some green mustard. We've got some things that did not sprout. This has a lot of kale in it. I'm going to have to spread that out. You'll see some AeroGarden pods. So I 3D printed adapters, someone else's design, that let me pop AeroGarden pods right in there. So we've got some red lettuce in there. We've got basil. Wow, what's this? Lots of red mustard. I should have split those out or should have taken some seeds out. But we will work it out. We've got some Thai basil, some lime basil, marjoram, Italian parsley, some dill. This one is all bush beans. Bush beans are actually great size for indoor hydroponics because they don't vine much, except for this fella. I don't know where he's going. But these were all seeds I saved from my outdoor garden from plants that I had in my green stock. You will see most of them are coming along beautifully. Some of them, the seeds did not sprout and I had to replace them. So they're behind the others. You'll see brand new beans sprouting here. Look, the leaves are just starting to pop out. And a couple that are not even doing that yet. Okay. Then over here, this is what I'm calling my ramen and stir fry garden. We've got mini purple daikon radishes at the bottom. We've got some yellow Swiss chard that did not come out yet. Purple bok choy, a couple of those. Purple mustard, green bok choy. What else is in here? Green tatsoi, red tatsoi, some chive, water spinach, which is looking kind of sickly, but I'm going to see what that does. Sorry, the dehumidifier over here in the corner just came on, so it's loud. So let's move back around this way. So yeah, those are my gardens. And listen, I'm going to tell you about a deal. So Gardyn has sales kind of often, and this one's been going on a while. I've been advertising it in shorts, and I've mentioned it in my group and on Facebook a few times. But if you want a garden, I recommend getting one from them with the warranty. You get a 2-year warranty. You don't need the membership. That's a misconception. You can try the 30 days free if you decide you like it because you like getting the pods every month. You like having Kelby help you with what to do. You can use membership, but you don't need it. You don't have to use their seeds. That's another misconception. As you saw, I was able to just take the rock wool out and put, the plants in there. Some of these are garden pods. Some of these are my own seeds. You can use your own seeds. You can use the rock wool. You can use the root riot plugs. And I was supposed to show you what that looks like. Let me show you. Hard to see now, but this is a root riot plug. So it's like a tougher medium that is great for such things. Okay. But anyway, as I was saying, check out the links below. If you use my Garden Ambassador code, you can get 25% off, which means the home will be a great price. The new Studio 2, that's the one that's a really exciting price, is $411. And if they still have Studio 1s left, that's only 3 something. So these are homes. I have 2 Home 4.0s, which is the newest, a 3.0 that I've had for about 3 years, I think, and then this one, which was a new to me used unit. Okay, I've had no problems with any of them, and they are great. So I have a video coming up on my tips for garden users. You're going to want to check that out because I'm going to go through everything that I've learned, all of the misconceptions, tips of what you can do to keep your garden growing great. All right, see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe.